Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Clara Merriman. I'm part of the Splunk Trust. I actually work for Splunk. I do Splunk at Splunk for IT and security use cases. Today I've got Rich and Mary with me, and they're both amazing. Rich, can you please introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Rich Galloway. I'm with Mainline RTP, a Splunk partner, doing mainly professional services, and I've been with the Splunk Trust since 2016.
Wow, that's awesome. Mary?
I'm Mary Cordova. I've been working in security operations for about a decade, mostly in the media and entertainment, gaming industries. I've been working with Splunk since I think 2016 or so,
Oh, yeah.
and I think that's it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I actually didn't say how long I've been. I've been a Splunker for about 4 years and a customer for 5 years before that. And trustee since 20, I don't know, 20, what, it's on here.
Yeah.
17, I think.
18,
They didn't do 17 pins, so I think
Right.
it was, yeah.
Before 18.
I think it was like 18 or 17. I don't remember. I'd have to ask Jason. So a little bit about the Splunk Trust. We're a group, it's kind of like a community MVP program. It's a bunch of people who are so passionate about Splunk. We help people in like Slack or in the user groups or the answers.splunk.com. And we really just want to give back and help the community learn and grow within Splunk. Do you have anything to add?
No, somebody said the other day that like we might not always be the smartest person in the room, but we're some of the most helpful. Although I will say there are members of the trust that know everything about every single possible thing there is to know about Splunk. So there are some people that is true.
Yeah, there are some brilliant people
There
in
are
the
some
trust.
pretty amazing
just amazing.
people. Yeah.
But you're right, I fall into that. I know where to get you. I know who you should talk to, but I might not know that answer. So do either of you know the history of the Splunk Trust, like how it started, when it started? You've been here on it the longest.
It's, from what I remember, it started in 2014, I think. It was unofficial at first. Pretty much the people who were active in IRC, Internet Relay Chat, answering questions with each other, were recognized by a Splunk community leader at the time.
Yeah.
They didn't do fezzes, they did capes at the time, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And you'll still see some of them wandering around the floor today wearing their capes.
Yeah, I do think we need to bring the capes back or something a little snazzy.
As if some of us aren't snazzy enough.
Oh yeah, I don't know. This is my character. When I take everything off, I'm in incognito.
Right.
And then nobody knows who I am, and I can get away with stuff. So, Rich, can you tell us how you became a member of the Splunk Trust?
I like to think it was just magic. I was involved in Splunk Answers for a couple years after I started working in Splunk. It was about 10 years ago, I guess now.
Yeah.
And just answering questions when people had asked something that I actually knew about. And if they didn't know about it, I would look it up, and then I knew more to answer next time. But after doing that for about a year, I got a message from Patrick, the community leader at the time, who said, "You've been nominated to join the Splunk Trust.
That's
Would you
awesome.
like to apply?" So I did, and they actually accepted me, and I'm still here for, sometimes I wonder why.
Oh, we all know why. We all know why. What made you want to be in the trust?
I think I just like the recognition.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice. You're doing something just because you like to do it, not because you expect to get anything out of it.
Yeah.
But yet somebody still comes back and says, "Hey, thanks. Here's a fez for you to wear."
Yeah.
As
It's
a-
also
as a way
kind
of
of
saying
nice.
thank you.
You see people you help at .conf, and then they're always very appreciative. It's
Very
nice.
cool.
Yeah.
They see you
Yeah.
first because they recognize your name from Slack or Answers or whatever,
Yeah.
and they come up with you and they say, "Hey, I saw your answer on Slack or Answers or whatever. It really helped me out. Thanks a lot."
Yeah.
And it's really a nice thing
Yeah,
to see.
I
here.
just feel like it really brings people together, like being able to meet like that and knowing like I helped that person and it
Right.
makes you feel good. How did you become a trustee?
Well, so for me, I was nominated based on basically a Splunk Answers battle between myself and a bunch of members of the Splunk Trust, which I didn't know at the time. So I tended to use Splunk Answers as like a mini blog post. And so
Yeah.
I would come across a problem, figure out a solution for it, and I wouldn't want other people to have the same problem and have to go figure out a solution for themselves. So basically I would post my question and then I would post my own answer. And one day I came in and I got a message that my answer had been deleted because it was ill-advised and dangerous and like a couple of other things. And I was like, how dare you delete my answer? And so we got into a bit of like a technical scruffle through the Splunk answers, like back and forth replies. And the story told to me later was that the trust was monitoring the answers post from the Slack channel, like waiting to see like if it was going to go really bad. But I guess I kept my cool just enough. And we all came together to like eventually get a good, solid technical answer. I was wrong. I mean, I wasn't wrong, right? It was just different. There was a better way.
There's no wrong.
But so that was basically some members of the trust after that, and seeing my previous post to Splunk Answers, they nominated me to the trust.
So they nominated you.
Yeah, I got nominated by one of the current Splunk Trust members. Yeah, and
That's
that was, I
awesome.
think, in 2017 or 18.
Did you know about the trust like before?
I mean, I had seen them, like I'd seen the fezzes around the conference before,
Yeah.
but I didn't really know a lot about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was really surprised and flattered, and I was like, wow, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I was really excited about that.
Yeah, and we're happy you're in it. Getting to know you has been so fun. I remember it was like Conf 2015 or 16, and it was the first SPLing bee that Stephen Ludke put on at .conf. And I remember I was sitting there. I won it, by the way. But I was sitting there before it started. I'm getting ready, and there's someone sitting in front of me with a fez. And I made a joke to my coworker who was sitting next to me, and I'm like, do you think if I stole that, it's the only way I would get a fez? And the person in front of me heard me say that, turns around, and is like, actually, this is what it is, and this is what the Splunk Trust is, and all this stuff, and explained that whole thing to me. And it was Charlie Huggard, Teddy B. Fez. And of course it had to be him, because he's like the nicest human in the world to hear me joking about stealing his property. But then that's how I learned about the trust. And I was like, that year I was like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to be in the trust, because I want that like hat. I want to be friends with that person and all this stuff. And then, so then I just ramped up my answers posts, and I got really active in Slack. And then I remember Patrick, the community leader, he was like, wow, we really noticed you, just like you were like this, and then your activity like skyrocketed. And I was like, yeah, I really wanted it. Okay, so let's quickly talk about .conf. We're here. It's been a few years. You're both, I assume, enjoying being here.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, okay, good.
It's nice to leave the house.
It
Absolutely.
is so nice to leave the house. Well, and then we all get to see each other again. I think during your talk with Shelly today, someone, I don't remember who, mentioned that it's like a little Splunk reunion.
Yeah, we're like a family.
We are like a
we
family.
haven't seen each other in over 2 years.
Yeah.
Almost 3.
Yeah, almost 3. And I've missed you guys. Or you folks.
here.
I've missed you folks. Correct myself. So what?
It's like the Slack bot is in our head.
It is, that Slack bot. It's right there. It totally is. So since we're back at Conf, do you have a favorite like .conf memory?
Probably the favorite was getting my first fez
Yeah.
back in 16.
Was there an
That was
induction
nice.
ceremony back then, or was it just?
There was. It's not quite the ceremony that it is today.
Yeah.
But it was nice. Rachel was there, and you call everybody up on stage one at a time
Yeah.
and get your fez. And I think we might have gotten a handshake from Doug at the time.
I think so.
Which was pretty cool.
Yeah, back then, like it's like, oh, you feel like a little celebrity, like getting to meet like the executive team and stuff. It's
Right.
kind of cool. Did you have a favorite .conf?
Yeah, my favorite .conf memory is actually from 2016. It was my very first .conf. It was before I was a member of the trust, and I had inherited a Splunk environment. I had maybe 4 months of Splunk experience before the admin left, and I was like super frazzled and disgruntled. And the first time run booth, one of the existing trust members was just like so understanding and listening, and like gave me all these pointers and directions on like who to talk to and where to go for help and how to like get, my environment running. And one of the really cool things, again, I learned later, was that basically my meltdown at first time run actually got turned into a blog series called So You've Inherited a Splunk Environment. So, I mean, there's a lot of things I think in that story that really represent the trust, just like the helpfulness, the caringness, but also like taking it that step further and doing something with that information and distributing like a technical resource or help or solution to a problem, which I think is something that a lot of us really do a lot.
That's true, yeah, and that's awesome that it became like a whole thing. I love it.
Yeah.
It's something so like crazy turned into just something so helpful and awesome.
Yeah.
I think my favorite memory is at the Disney.conf. Was that 16 Disney or was that 7?
I think it was 16.
16 and 18. I
Yeah,
think.
so 16 at Disney World. During the search party, it was just the Splunk Conf people. Everyone, all the attendees got to go to Disney World. It was shut down except for us. And so we got to go on specific rides with like no lines, which was awesome.
This is great.
But the best part, my favorite part about it was that I was with, I don't remember who I was with exactly. I was with a few people. And it's like you're walking around and just more, and this happens at every conf, and I just love, it's my favorite thing. You're walking around, and then you could be standing still or walking around, and other Splunk Trust members just start like combining into like a blorb of Splunk Trust. I like to think of it as like blood coagulating. I'm like, we all just find each other, and we're clotting, and then we just all exist in like some massive, I don't want to say like scab. That's what blood coagulating does. But that was like my favorite memory though, is us, we were just walking around and we started with like 3 people. And at the end of like the search party, I think we had like 20 trustees just like in form, like the duck V, just like, it was awesome. I loved it. Okay, so since we've got a lot of people listening and tuning in for this, is there anything you have like for tips or anything about the community or about using Splunk or like even just getting involved in it in the first place, like how to start off?
We'll start by signing up.
Yeah.
Right? Go to splunk.it/Slack and get involved, or go to the community site and sign up for answers.
Yeah.
Get involved. And do like I did. If you answer a question, if you know the answer, if it's something you know a little bit about, do some research and contribute the answer that you come up with.
And it's always good when the answers are explanatory and it's not like, here, put in this search or this config. It's like, this is why. Because then you're really teaching someone how to fish and not just handing them their dinner.
Right.
Did you have any tips for?
Yeah, well, I would say also people might look for a local user group. There are some really active user groups.
Yeah.
I've actually done a couple of versions of my Splunk.conf talks for the user groups.
Yeah.
And those are really nice because you can actually kind of do like live interactive demos and people can ask questions.
Yeah.
So it's a little more like intimate and also like technical, I guess, in a way when you can be more interactive and do a live demo like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So the user groups are good.
User groups are awesome. So yeah, they're all local, and I definitely recommend checking them out. But otherwise, I think that's all the time we have today. So bye from me.
And me.
Yeah.
Awesome. Give ourselves a hand.
Yeah. Round of applause. I don't know if we just leave.